असतो मा सद्गमय तमसो मा ज्योतिर्गमय मृत्योर्मा अमृतं गमय। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। Om. May the divine lead us from the unreal to the real, from darkness to light, from death to immortality. Om. Peace, peace, peace.
We will be chanting Sri Jagannathashtakam, 5 stanzas. You can repeat with me the last stanza's line. Kadachit kalindi tatavipina sangeeta karavo mudabhiri nari vadana kamala swada madhupaha रमा शंभो ब्रह्मा सुरपति गणेशार्चित पदो जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। भुजे सव्ये वेणुं शिरसि शिखि पुञ्छ कटितटे दुकूलं नेत्रान्ते सहचर कटाक्षं विलसयन् सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावन वसति लीला परिचयो। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। महाम्भोधे स्थिरे कनकरुचिरे नीलशिखरे वसन् प्रासादान्त सहज बलभद्रेण बलिना सुभद्रा मध्यस्थ सकल सुरसेवावसरतो। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। कृपापारावारः सहज जलद श्रेणिरुचिरो रमावाणी राम स्फुरदमलपङ्गेरुमुखः सुरेन्द्रैराराध्य श्रुतिगणाशिखागतिचरो। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भवतु मे। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी रथारूढो गच्छन् पथिमिलितभूदेवपटलै श्रुतिप्रादुर्भावं प्रतिपदमुपाकर्णसदयः दयासिन्धुर्बन्धु सकलजगतां सिन्धुसुतया जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे।
I'm reading from the book The Way to God by Swami Kripamayananda. The chapter is Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion. Devotee asks the question to Sri Ramakrishna, which is better, ecstatic love or love mixed with knowledge? The Master replies, it is not possible to develop ecstatic love of God unless you love Him very deeply and regard Him as your very own. Listen to a story. Once, 3 friends were going through a forest when a tiger suddenly appeared before them. Brothers, one of them exclaimed, we are lost. Why should you say that? Said the second friend. Why should we be lost? Come, let us pray to God. The third friend said, no, why should we trouble God about it? Come, let us climb this tree. The friend who said, we are lost, did not know that there is a God who is our protector. The friend who asked the others to pray to God was a jnani. He was aware that God is the creator, preserver, and destroyer of the world. The third friend, who didn't want to trouble God with prayers and suggested climbing the tree, had ecstatic love of God. It is the very nature of such love that it makes man think himself stronger than his beloved. He is always alert, lest his beloved should suffer. The one desire of his life is to keep his beloved from even being pricked in the foot by a thorn. Narada at one time developed a terrible conceit. He thought that there was no devotee in the whole world as great as he. To get rid of this egotism, Sri Krishna took him to meet a poor Brahmin who was very devoted to Lord Vishnu. The Brahmin did not believe in killing any living being, so he ate only dry, dead grass. Still, he always had a sword hanging around his neck. Sri Krishna said to him, you don't kill any living being, so why do you wander around with a sword around your neck? The Brahmin answered, I carry the sword because I want to kill 3 people. First, Narada, who is always calling out the Lord's name and singing. This disturbs my Lord and makes him unhappy. So I will kill Narada first. Then I will kill Arjuna. Why did he make my Lord Krishna drive his chariot? And the third person I will kill is Draupadi. She had the audacity to feed my Lord with impure food. I wander about with this sword so that I can kill these 3 persons. The Brahmin thought he had to protect his Lord. Sri Ramakrishna says, The devotee regards himself as a higher and God as a lower being. Swami Vivekananda once went to Kshir Bhavani, an old temple of the Divine Mother in northern India. Muslims had long ago desecrated it. Feeling very sad, Swamiji said to the Divine Mother, "Mother, if I had been here, I would not have permitted them to desecrate your temple. I would have protected it with my life." At once, Swamiji heard a divine voice saying, "My child, do you protect me? Don't you think that it is I who am always protecting you? You don't protect me. This all happened through my will. If I so desire, I can build a great temple here in an instant." Another story. The devotee has a vast ego and is afraid lest a thorn might prick his Lord's foot. Once Krishna was walking barefoot along a country path. One of the gopis said, "His feet are so soft, walking on that hard ground must be painful for him. Let us lie down on the ground and let him walk over our bodies." Rupa, a disciple of Sri Chaitanya, was fasting, and Sri Krishna, disguised as a village boy, brought him some milk. When Rupa's brother Sanatana heard about this, he became very angry and said to Rupa, "You are fasting." And Krishna could not bear to see it. He had to come all the way bringing food for you. Why did you trouble him this way? When you have ecstatic devotion, prema, you think of yourself as big and your Lord as small. Your only desire is that your Lord, your beloved, should not suffer in the slightest. The purpose of this love is the complete realization of Sri Krishna. Krishna is under the control of this love. So says the Bhagavatam. Yes.
Now a short period of meditation. Good morning to you all, and today's discourse is on Snana-Yatra. We know snana means, in Sanskrit, it means bathing. And yatra, generally we know, is the travel, journey. It also means play. And drama in Bengal we call jatra, and yatra is pronounced as jatra. And also it means festival or celebration. So, bathing celebration. What type of celebration is that? But bathing is so important. It is, of course, when it becomes celebration of anything in large scale, it has to be divine, something to do with God, with divinity. And this Snana-Yatra is famous, this bathing, divine, all divine, those who are worshipped with food and flowers, are all bathed, something, somehow or other. In Durga Puja also, there is a ceremony for bathing the Divine Mother. That is done in the mirror. But in all the temples, there is somehow or other bathing. Either they bathe the idol itself or they bathe symbolically, somehow bathing is there. But this Snana-Yatra comes from a really elaborate bathing, and this is about the Jagannath Mahaprabhu in Puri. Puri is a huge temple, and it is one of the 4 important centers of pilgrimage of Hindus. It's called one of the Char Dhams, 4 centers of pilgrimage, Char Dham. And it's called Purushottama Kshetra, where Krishna is worshipped in wooden idol. Nowhere else the God is worshipped in wooden idol. It's the only place where Krishna and his elder brother Balabhadra and their sister Subhadra are worshipped together on an altar in a huge image. And this image is not like the human image. It's, they have eyes, but they have no final fingers and palms in the hand, just the arms. And the feet is also not complete. And the eyes are without any eyelids. It's a round eyes. So, like that, a special feature of the wood. There is a system that wood has to be a particular tree, and that is the neem tree. It's a neem tree wood. And every 12, 15, 17 or 19 years, the wooden, that idol would be made afresh, anew. But every year, that wooden idol is, all these 3 wooden idols are bathed. And that's called Snana-Yatra, huge ceremony. Hundreds of thousands of devotees, they visit this Puri, the city of Puri, to have this vision. Why Snana-Yatra became so important? Of course, Snana means bathing. Bathing is for cleaning or cleansing. We want to clean our body, and bathing means that cleaning body and mind, because body and mind are together. You might have felt that when we take shower, we feel happy. There is a feeling of joy. So mind also, as it were, it bathes, it becomes fresh. Body and mind are so connected. So this Snana-Yatra becomes, people feel they are freed from all. The Snana-Yatra, the ceremony of bathing, is done to the idol of Jagannatha, Balabhadra and Subhadra, but the pilgrims feel they are freed from sins or dirt in their mind. They are purified. It is a symbolic purification of the mind and body of the devotees. That's why they visit this auspicious ceremony. How auspicious is this? How elaborate is this? So, there are 108 pitchers of water to be pulled from a particular well near the Shitala temple, near the northern door of Jagannath temple. There is one well that is specially made for the bathing of Snana, on the occasion of Snana-Yatra. Whole year it remains closed. Only one day before it is open, and one day before water is all drawn from that well. And that well is called Subarna Kua, the golden well, the name. And though water is collected in 108 pitchers. And after collecting previous day, then it is worshipped. How worshipped? First mixed with many kinds of herbs, and then fragrance, all unguents, all these things are mixed with that, all scents and fragrances are mixed, and they are purified, sanctified with mantra. In fact, they are worshipped with 16 articles. The most elaborate worship is done on the water, not on the deity. Water is divinized. It is sanctified and worshipped as a deity. It is worshipped to make it fully pure and very highly purified. So with Sodasopachara puja it is done to the water in 108 pitchers. It is not a small thing. Everything in Jagannath, the temple, the idols, the altar, everything is used. And from that, this it started from the time of the foundation of Jagannath temple, King Indradyumna. So this Snana Mandap is made in Ananda Bazar inside the temple, a complex, and there is made one altar where people can see from outside. It's not the temple itself, but a temple campus, a place where the thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people gather and they can see. Of the 108 features, this tradition has been coming for thousands of years. And there is number of features, how many to put on Jagannath and how many on Balabhadra and how many on Subhadra. So they say 35 features for Jagannath. With all 35 features, this sanctified, purified the previous day, next day all gather and they come, and then this is being poured with the mantra by the head priest. 35 features is poured on the Jagannath, idol of Jagannath, 33 on Balabhadra, to count less, and 22 on Subhadra. Still a few left. 108 didn't happen. Where others go? Others go, there is a fourth deity. It is actually Sudarsana Chakra. Sudarsana Chakra is so important. With Krishna, two things are very important. One is the Vamsi, which he always held, particularly in Vrindavana Leela. Krishna without the flute, you cannot imagine. And also there is another which is so important as an incarnation of Vishnu, this Sudarsana. That is also regarded as worship, as something deity. So this Sudarsana Chakra is also brought, which is not on the altar but on the side, but that is also brought, and remaining 18 pitchers of sanctified water are used to bathe this Sudarsana Chakra. So that's why 108. And why it is so important? On that day, what is done is all worship after bathing is done on open, where everybody can see. Other days it's not that open. So everything is putting on clothes and his decoration and his worship and feeding, all is done on open where everybody can see. So one day, as it were, God comes to the devotees. And it is exactly 15 days before the Ratha-Yatra. When God is available, Jagannath is available for people to draw. People hold the rope to draw the chariot. The Lord sits in the chariot, and it's a big, more people come on Ratha-Yatra day. This is after 15 days of Snana-Yatra. So Snana-Yatra that's why so important. What happens after Snana-Yatra? That is also something wonderful. It is God is treated like a human being, and after taking so many pitchers of water, what will happen? We say, don't take too much bath so long time, cold water, you may catch cold, you may get fever. And exactly that thing is thought about God. Here, God also gets sick, he gets fever, and he goes to rest in a private room inside the temple, made up of some hay and some dry leaves, and he remains there. Nobody is allowed. God is sick. He is given sick diet of some soaked legumes, and like those things is given to him, like some fruits, a sick diet. And for this 15 days, there is no worship at all. No elaborate feeding Jagannath. Jagannath is fed in common days, is fed so many times with so many types of food. So many, 56 varieties of food all the time Jagannath is eating all the time, is offered. So much glorious, but 15 days he is sick, they all three are sick, not to be given any food, no worship, nothing. So only some people are there, special people, they will go inside and treat Jagannath. So they will put clothes, they will put some oil, some fragrance and painting, something they do, and that also. So what happens to the people who go for darshan that time, this 15 days between Snana-Yatra and Ratha-Yatra? So just outside that temporary cottage-like thing, in the temple, there are hanged three pictures of, not of Jagannatha, Balabhadra and Subhadra, but these three painted pictures on cloth. That picture are called pata. So these patas are made up of, there are three pictures of Ananta Narayana, Ananta Vasudeva and Devi Bhuvaneshwari, representing Jagannatha, Balabhadra and Subhadra. And they hang there. And there are seven, they say, representatives of Jagannath. The small idols are kept in front of that. Use painted pictures, are called pata. So there is Madana Mohana, Rama, Krishna, Lakshmi, Saraswati, Sri Devi, Bhudevi. This elaborate thing they do. People come and see that only Jagannatha is not seen. Only the special priest go and they take care of that. They think sometimes painting is got all full repair and new paintings are done, new clothes are put. And on Snana-Yatra day, what is done is Jagannatha has very special dress. The Jagannatha's dress changes. And this dress is called Ganapati, Gajavesha, in the form of elephant, the Ganesha, the face of Ganesha, like that face, the dress is made that way. There is like a trunk like of the elephant, and the dress looks like Gajavesha. That Jagannatha on Snana-Yatra, day after bathing, until he goes to the sick room, after everything done, he goes to Gajavesha. There is a story for Gajavesha. Why this Jagannatha is given the elephant attire? It looks like elephant. So a story goes that there was a great devotee of God, Brahma, who used to worship Brahman, the supreme reality, in the form of Ganapati in Karnataka. So he somehow he got the intimation in his vision that there is a place called Purushottama Kshetra or Puri Kshetra, very holy, and there the Lord, the Supreme Lord, had manifested as Purushottama Vigraha in Daru Brahma. Jagannatha is called Daru Brahma, Brahma in the form of wood. And he comes with all intention to see his own deity there, his own Ishta there, Ganesha there. And he says, there is no Ganesha. He became sad and started going back. My God is not revealing me in the form of my Ishta. He is a different form. He is a form of Jagannatha. While he was going back, after 1 or 2 days, he gets the vision, a dream, and says, don't go, come and see me. The Jagannatha says. He comes back, that was the Snana-Yatra day, he comes back in the evening, the Jagannatha had dressed himself as Ganesha. For the sake of devotee, this system has come. Somehow the priest might have found that. That is one story goes on like that. So this Gajanana Vesha or Gajavesha happens in that way. So this is the story of Snana-Yatra. So why this Snana-Yatra, the elaborate ritual of very great celebration, no doubt, for Hindus all over the world. For Hindus, they are important celebration, this Snana-Yatra. What is it so important for devotees of Vedanta, for the devotees of Sri Ramakrishna? So there is importance. Sri Ramakrishna never visited Jagannath. He said, if I go to Jagannath, I will merge in that, with Jagannatha, Lord of the universe, Supreme Being. So Holy Mother went there, and Holy Mother, when she went, she used to be in the temple, what the rituals, she was there for 1 month in Puri. And she used to bring Sri Ramakrishna's picture from her small bag and shows that picture to Jagannath, as if Sri Ramakrishna is seeing Jagannath. The picture of Sri Ramakrishna was so living for Holy Mother. It was not the photograph, it was not the picture. It was Sri Ramakrishna as if living, he will see Jagannath because he never visited. That was the living presence of Holy Mother for Sri Ramakrishna. The picture, in his picture. That all glory of Sri Ramakrishna, the establishment of Vedanta in a very, the way that we understand, which is very inclusive of real Advaita, which includes everything, which excludes nothing. Bhakti, yoga, jnana, everything is included in the Viveka, in the Vedanta that is practiced and preached by Ramakrishna, Holy Mother and Vivekananda. It's a Vedanta in ultimate form, all-inclusive Vedanta. So this Vedanta to develop, this Snana-Yatra has a role. What role? Sri Ramakrishna ever not visited Snana-Yatra? Sri Ramakrishna, all his sadhana that is unheard of in the history of mankind, not even the Adi Avatara. There have been great ascetics, great spiritual practitioners, but no one practiced sadhana like Sri Ramakrishna did. So many varieties of spiritual practice, varieties of different branches of Hinduism, even going out of the boundary of Hinduism, from Bhakti to Advaita Vedanta, from Krishna devotion to Rama devotion to Shiva. All this Sri Ramakrishna practice, and even Islam and even Christianity, all he practiced, and he was interested, very eager to know how Christians worship, what is the religion of Buddha. All that Leela and sadhana of Sri Ramakrishna all happened in temple of Dakshineshwar. Now, Dakshineshwar temple and Snana-Yatra are somehow connected. The very establishment, opening, foundation, dedication of Dakshineshwar temple was done on Snana-Yatra day. Snana-Yatra related to Jagannath. Jagannath is supposed to be a form of Vishnu or a form of Krishna, and here the Shakti worshipper, Bhavatarini, Devi Bhavatarini will be worshipped in the village of Dakshineshwar, and how this she chose, Rani Rasmani chose Snana-Yatra to dedicate the temple of Mother Kali. And that is also the story. Mother Kali's image was made, and she was searching for installing the image and finding the priest. Somehow a priest was found for Radha Govinda, but no priest was found for worshipping Mother Kali. So she was searching here and there. Finally, she found Ram Kumar, elder brother of Sri Ramakrishna. He agreed to do with certain rituals, certain conditions, and worship began. And on Snana-Yatra day in 1855, it was 31st May that year, the temple was dedicated. It took like 8 years to complete the temple, from 1847 to 1855. And they say it is spread in 20 acres of land. And Rani Rasmani purchased from a Britisher, John Hastie. And the expenses were 925,000 rupees. It was a huge amount during that time, huge amount to pay. She made it the best possible. And by God's grace, it is still maintained very well. It is still bright, shining, painted every year, clean. Compared to other Hindu temples that we have, we put flower here, water here, we don't look for, but this Dakshineshwar temple is compared to all other temples is very clean. Sri Ramakrishna always emphasized in cleanliness. And the grand ceremony for the opening happened, installing on Snana-Yatra day 1855. And how much money was spent only for opening ceremony? 200,000 rupees. How much more money was spent? And there were 100,000 people were fed that day, it is said. So very elaborate this thing was done. So I was saying why she chose Snana-Yatra day to install a mother's temple. Mother was, image was made, everything was being arranged because she had in a dream She was making plan to go to Varanasi. With 20 boats, she would go through Ganga. The train was not started that time. There were no railways, Indian railways was not there. And the day before she would leave, everything was arranged to have the darshan of Mother Annapurna and Vishwanath in Kashi. She gets a dream, says, why you want to go to pilgrimage? Make my temple here. Find a place for me and install here and worship me. Mother Kali showed in a dream. And by her tradition, she was a Vishnu Bhakta. But Mother Kali showed in a dream. Then she searched and found Dakshineswar, place in Dakshineswar, of the 20 acres of land in Dakshineswar, they selected that to be. Now temple started building, image was made, but installation was getting delayed. So then, and when image was made, it was put in a box. He gets another dream. And Mother Kali says, I am in the box for so long, nothing is done to me, no worship, no feeding, no nothing there. You have packed me and kept it in a box. Take me out and install me quickly. And she consulted almanac, and it was found only the auspicious moment was Snana-Yatra. Before that, nothing was there. So she chose Snana-Yatra day to install this image of Bhavatarini. Another, and all the Leela came after that temple began. So Sri Ramakrishna going there, Ramlal accepting as the priest, Ramlal passed away, Sri Ramakrishna took the worship, and then all his sadhana, crying mother, seeing the divine mother in the image, being engulfed by the ocean, by the waves of light coming, and after that asking mother, are you living or are you stone? All this question coming, tasting coming, and proof after proof coming, the mother is living, God is real. Don't doubt that God is there or not. God is there. You don't see stars in daytime. Are there no stars daytime? There are stars. It doesn't mean if you don't see God, doesn't mean God is not there. God is reality, which is own experience, Sri Ramakrishna said. One after another, the experience and sadhana going on. After Divine Mother was done, and then came this Advaita sadhana and Vaishnava sadhana and Tantra sadhana with Bhairavi Brahmani and all that, all are enacted in that holy land of Dakshineswar. And Dakshineswar was established on Snana-Yatra day. Snana-Yatra and Vedanta movement of Ramakrishna Vivekananda gets connected that way. Another important thing on this Snana-Yatra is, on this Snana-Yatra day was born Swami Virajananda. Swami Virajananda was our 6th president. So many presidents are there. Why is this become so important for Vedanta movement? Swami Virajananda. Because Swami Virajananda played a great role in compiling the works of Swami Vivekananda. The works that we get, the complete works of Swami Vivekananda, first compilation and editing, translating, all were done by Swami Virajananda when he was head of Advaita Ashrama Mayavati Himalayas. And he was also born on this holy tithi of Snana-Yatra, very important holy day. Snana-Yatra is a day when we remember our love for God. All this, whether Ratha Yatra, Snana-Yatra, any occasion that we go and visit temples or pilgrimage, they just kindle devotion in our heart. And we don't go on the beauty of the image or idol, but some power in spiritual power in these places that happens. You go to Kali Ghat, you go to Dakshineswar Kali, or just Vishwanath temple in Varanasi. There's one stone image, stone symbol of Shiva, but nobody worships that stone. It's all about our devotional feeling, just rising with when you go to the holy places. All holy places in all religions are like that. When you don't need even image. People go and worship the wall, the holy wall in Jerusalem. The Jews go there. And there is no image, just wall of the broken temple. But they feel so holy and they feel inspired and devoted when they go and visit that wall and pray in front of wall. Just wall. But that becomes like the deity, that becomes like God. Like that it happens with the devotion. All these places, Jagannath is so great a center of pilgrimage. Of 4 main centers of pilgrimage called 4 dhams. One is in north called Badri Narayan, and another in south called Rameshwaram, and on the east is Dwaraka, and on the east is Puri. These 4 corners of India, and it's not from Shankaracharya, it's before Shankaracharya. Traditionally, all 4 corners of India, 4 great places of pilgrimage. People will visit all these places and they draw the devotion to God. In all of these 4 places, 2 are dedicated to Krishna, Dwaraka and Jagannath, and one is for Shiva, one is for Vishnu. Shiva is Rameshwaram, Vishnu is Badrinarayan or Badrinath. But this Puri is very important. It draws a lot of people, as it is called Purushottama Kshetra. It's called the central place of the Supreme Purusha, the Krishna himself. Like that, this is the importance of Puri Dhama. And there have been celebrations and all that. Puri is not important only as a very devotional place, intensely, where people found their devotion rousing, especially our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, who is regarded as the incarnation of God. He used to have Mahabhava, extreme ecstasy in the love of God, that few experienced. That Bhairavi Brahmani said to Sri Ramakrishna, only 3 have experienced it. One is Radharani, another is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and third are you, O Ramakrishna, she had said. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had all this extreme ecstasy in Puri temple. So Puri, as Sri Ramakrishna place of sadhana was Dakshineshwar, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stayed in Puri Jagannath, and his discourses, his teaching, his growing, and his love was that temple of Jagannath. So it became more glorified. So people visiting there, they feel that there is some air or aura of devotion always flowing there. And the story says when Jagannath Mahaprabhu was walking, first time went to Puri, after taking sannyasa, his mother said, you can go and stay in Puri, I'll get information about you. So he went there. When he saw the Puri temple, the flag, huge temple flag seen from the long distance, he ran to the temple and went inside and embraced the image, the idol of Jagannath Mahaprabhu. So that type of, we know the story, how it has been a center of devotion for the Hindus for thousands, many years, from, we don't know when the temple began. Since then, it's all the center of pilgrimage. All these 3 or 4 dhams are on the shores of ocean. So one is in Puri, is on Bay of Bengal, and Rameshwaram also Bay of Bengal, near that thing, and our Dwaraka is on the Arabian Sea, and one is in the Himalayas. So all are very holy and important places where people go and they feel so elated and elevated spiritually. So Jagannath, when you go to these places, there is a lot of crowd, and time is summer time, it's very hot and humid. But still people go in hundreds of thousands for the Snana-Yatra and Ratha-Yatra. And because they feel so happy to go, there are people who visit for these occasions every year. One devotee told me, my mother has become old, I tell her, don't go now, but she would not listen to me on this. She would listen everything. But if I say, don't go, you are old, there's so much crowd, it's so hot and humid, but she cannot remain without going to Jagannath temple on this yatras, on this Snana-Yatra. So that's how the Snana-Yatra gives so much satisfaction. All these yatras, special occasions, all they give so much satisfaction for the devotee to visit a holy place. That's how when there is Shivaratri, so much crowd in Vishwanatha temple or other Shiva temples in Rameshwaram. And there are 12 Jyotirlingas, 12 very important Shiva temples in India. One of them is Vaidyanath in Jharkhand. And there the special occasion is not one day, not Shivaratri, but whole of Shravana Masa. After this will be Shravana Masa, that in the Ratha Yatra is on Shravana Masa. Whole month is so crowded that you have to stand in line for few kilometers to reach to go into the temple. And small temple made so many years ago, still the same Garbhagriha, Sanctum Sanctorum. People go, they find so much joy in this place as a pilgrimage. That is the story of Snana-Yatra and its connection with Ramakrishna Vivekananda movement. Very auspicious day. In 1855, it was on 31st May. This year, it is on 14th June. Day after tomorrow is the day of Snana-Yatra. Thank you very much.